But if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed or inadequate or insecure or whatever any of those things are, it's your invitation to fucking lean into you and ask yourself, what would you want to do differently? Because the crazy thing is, until you're doing something differently, and it could even be like, I don't have an amazing body image. Like, I don't sit there and go, wow, I'm so fucking happy with my body and blah, blah, blah. And there's lots of people, I was talking about this with someone the other week. There's lots of people that are a size, I don't know, 8, 10, 6, 12, whatever the fucking dream is for that person, who are fucking miserable. They are fucking hating their body despite being that apparent golden size and golden weight, like whatever the fuck that all is, right? It's sort of ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Sexiness, hotness, health is an energy. Like with anything, it's an energy, it's a choice. It's got nothing to do with the outside. It's got everything to do with the inside. And I choose it from the inside. I choose the completeness, the wholeness, the health, the physicality of like movement and flexibility and all of those things from the inside, not from the outside. If I sit there and measure it from the outside, well, it's going to depend on who I'm around, isn't it? It's going to, like this is with anything, but it's going to depend on success in your business and income and blah, 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 and harmony at home and harmony with your kids and, the amazing lifestyle with your kids and amazing relationships and amazing friendships. Like that's all going to depend on who you're around. If you start looking at it from the outside, what's going to count to you? What's going to count to you, and how do you sleep properly at night? Because bitching and moaning about somebody else or something else or putting somebody else down is never going to fucking lift you up. It's just bringing you down further. And it's creating and wiring that mindset of, I'm a fucking failure. You're not, but you're wiring that in. You're just reinforcing those beliefs, and that I'm no good, I'm not worthy, I'm inadequate, I'm incapable, all of those things, as opposed to realizing it just takes one fucking step. If you just ask anyone who is stuck and overwhelmed and confused, it takes one fucking step. Looking at the big picture doesn't work. Seeing the vision, one day I might get there, but what's the one step I take today? And so sometimes it might just be simply, one of the biggest things I come back to is gratitude. Just fucking gratitude. Gratitude for the laptop. Gratitude for the fucking headphones. Gratitude for the chair that I'm sitting in. Gratitude that I have an outfit on, that you guys, I've got clothes. It's a good thing. Gratitude for, can you hear the cicadas? Can you hear them? I can hear them, but you might not be. It's like they're loud, and there's some parts in the bush they're deafening. But I'm so grateful for them. They're just part of this beautiful ecosystem, right? Be grateful for the craziest of things. And I remember years ago, maybe 7 years ago, and I've done it a few times before, when you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, like trying to control and manipulate everything, and how other people see you and how you see yourself and how other people behave so that you feel better about yourself, like all of those things and everything else in between. I remember just asking everyone to go for an abundance walk. And this is what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Daily, multiple times a day, weekly, monthly, it doesn't really fucking matter. It's when you choose to do it, right? All the tools are available to you. I can tell you, I'll remind you at different times, but it doesn't mean you have to wait for the reminder. Go on an abundance walk. And abundance, like I used to feel completely in lack, and it was mainly around finances and love and a few other things. And I used to think I want to be abundant. I want to be abundant. And in trying to be abundant, I try to control things a little bit more. I try to work out exactly the way things had to go. And it just made it harder. It made it more restrictive. Things seemed to go even, I don't know, fall over even more, because I was just like neediness and controlling and everything. And then I just stopped one day and I was like, if I was fully abundant, how would I view the world that I'm seeing right now? And I remember just standing outside. I was doing that parasympathetic breath where you breathe in for like, I think I was breathing in for 7 and out for 9, because my anxiety was through the roof. I was feeling really stressed. I was just feeling really fucking horrible, and I was just feeling like something had to give, right? Yes, I have all this stuff too, right? I'm fucking human too, guys. And I don't distract myself from it. Distracting yourself from it just builds the volcano. Like, you know, you're pushing it down further and further, and at some point in time the volcano's got to explode. And I remember actually just stopping, going, well, if I tried to count all the blades of grass in this, I don't know where this came from initially, but then I'm like, fuck, this is so true. If I tried to count all the blades of grass in this little square inch here, I probably couldn't count them. And if I could, and I sat there for ages counting it, I'd realize there's probably thousands of blades of grass. Is that not abundant? And I'm fucking standing here. And, you know, and my mind was fighting with it a little bit. And then I was thinking about the rocks on my driveway. It was when we first moved to the farm. And I remember thinking about the rocks on my driveway, going, I could never count all the fucking rocks on the driveway. And then I started looking around the trees, and I was like, look at the fucking gum trees. I could never count all the trees, like the leaves on these trees. I just couldn't. It'd take me ages. It's abundance. It's just like fucking endless, really, when you think about it. And there's multiple trees. And then I was thinking about all the air. Like if I just kept breathing air, and I was like, and I was running, and I was puffed, and I was running and running and running, I still wouldn't breathe. I still wouldn't lose air. I wouldn't run out of air. There's always fucking enough. And everyone could be doing the same thing, and we wouldn't run out of air. And I just started to shift, right? And I used to compete with myself a little bit, as in, oh, it can't be that fucking simple. And yeah, but the money's still not coming in. And oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And this and that's happening. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. But I get to choose where my focus gets to be. I get to choose whether it's one of pain, suffering, inadequacy, not enoughness, or I get to just start to shift my focus, right? So sometimes that one little baby step is simply shifting your focus. And maybe it's the focus of abundance, which I'm going to invite you to do. Just what I go for a walk, go for a gratitude, abundance walk. I keep saying gratitude, because go for a gratitude walk too. It's part of it. And you walk along and you're just like, wow, like so much, I can't count the leaves, and there's so much fucking abundance here. Like think about that. And then you start to feel grateful for it. You're just like, wow, I'm really grateful for the abundance. You get to choose what you focus on. It'll feel uncomfortable and clunky to begin with, but this is where we start. Okay. This is where we fucking start. This is where we end. It doesn't really matter. And you just start to realize, you start to wire your brain for shit that's going to start to work for you. You start to wire your brain for shit that's going to start to work for you, for shit that feels really fucking good. And at first it doesn't, and then it does. Okay. And it took you a certain period of time and enforcing the beliefs to get to you where you are now, or that lack focus, or the, you know, inadequacy focus, or the things aren't working out for me, and the overwhelm and all that type of stuff. It took time for you to get there. You didn't really notice the time. All of a sudden, bang, it just started to happen. But that's the same with this. You are in control of your thoughts and feelings. Fucking act like it. Okay. And that's not about this is nothing to do with being positive. Absolutely fucking nothing to do with being positive. In fact, that drives me batty when people are like, yeah, just be positive. I'm like, if you feel shit, hold yourself. Feel fucking shit. You can feel shit and still focus on the abundance. People get confused by that, right? It's the same as like, you don't, courage is speaking up when you're crying. We're starting to accept that a little bit. Like you're courageous and brave because you still spoke up, or you still went ahead and did that, even though you were fucking shit scared. We're starting to see elements of that. Why can't we start to see that on other areas too? Right? That confidence still doesn't mean you feel 100%, you know, amazing. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes that confidence is, I know that I want this, and so I'm going to go down that fucking path, even though I don't know, or even though I'm confused, or whatever. It's an oxymoron.